I have to admit that I was one of those who pulled his hair 3 times when he saw a black cat as a kid. Somehow, unfortunately, such a superstition managed to spread in Turkish society. But not what I'm about to tell you now about black cats, the kind that will make you rip your hair out 3 times. You'll be amazed to hear what kind of trouble our inability to find a middle ground with these cats has put humanity in. If you're ready to listen to the mysterious and dark history of black cats, from ancient Egypt to dark medieval Europe, from America to Japan and Turkey, let's get started. We begin our video with a time when black cats were valued more than humans. Look what was going on in ancient Egypt. Both domesticated and wild cats were considered sacred animals in ancient Egyptian society. They were admired for their grace, agility, and hunting prowess, particularly their ability to control rodent populations that helped protect their food source from pests. The Egyptians' reverence for cats goes back to Baret, whom they believed to be the goddess. According to ancient Egyptian belief, Batet was a black cat god. Associated with home, fertility, and protection, Batet was believed to embody the nurturing and protective qualities of a mother. Black cats were often associated with Batet because of their dark fur, which symbolized the night and the secrets it kept. This connection, believed to be realized with the divine, further elevated the status of black cats in ancient Egyptian society. In ancient Egypt, if your cat, whom you keep at home, dies, you scratch your eyebrows with sadness. You used to mourn the loss of the cat. If you kill a cat, according to the belief of the Egyptians, goddess Batet would definitely ask you to account for it. But you would be sentenced to death for killing a cat before the laws in Egypt waited for him to be held accountable. Moreover, even if you accidentally took the cat's life unknowingly, you could not escape the death penalty. So the cat's life was more important than yours. Since it was known that cats were very afraid of fire in ancient Egypt, a wall of meat was built by the Egyptians to prevent the cats from panicking and running into the flames when a fire broke out in a house or elsewhere, thus risking their own lives to protect the cat from the fire. They worked. Cats are so important that when they died, they would be mummified and buried next to them in the belief that they would accompany their owners in the afterlife. Cats are clearly seen in many artifacts and depictions in Egyptian art and symbolism, especially black cats. In ancient Egypt, there were 3 cat deities, Batet, Sekhmet, and Mafde. They were depicted as either a cat-headed woman or a woman-headed cat. As we approach the present day, long after the times of ancient Egypt, when black cats gained such perverse importance, the situation has been so reversed that get ready for what you will hear now. The perception of the black cat underwent a significant transformation in medieval Europe, which stretches from the 5th to the 15th centuries. Black cats, which were initially admired and respected in ancient civilizations, became the symbol of evil, witchcraft, and sinister in this period. This shift in perception was heavily influenced by superstitions, religious beliefs, and fears surrounding the unknown. To understand the role of black cats in medieval Europe, we need to delve deeper into their historical context and the beliefs that shaped their image. By the 12th century, with the spread of Christianity to the European continent and the suppression of pagan beliefs and practices, the worst times in the dark history of black cats began. As the church gained power in medieval Europe, black cats became associated with satanic and witchcraft practices. Black cats were targeted because of their nocturnal habits and historical ties to pagan rituals. The color black was also considered a symbol of evil and darkness, which contributed to the negative perception of black cats. But the most important reaction to black cats began with the appearance of witches. As the fear of witches grew among the people in medieval Europe, a belief in their ability to harm and use their supernatural powers for evil deeds formed a belief. Fear of witches and their alleged evil practices became widespread in the late Middle Ages, leading to the emergence of witch hunts and witch trials across Europe. As witch hunts and lawsuits increase, thousands of people, mostly women, are accused of witchcraft, led to his persecution and execution. Finally, on June 13, 1233, the priest of the Catholic world, Gregory IX, issued a fatwa. In this fatwa, it was stated that black cats were directly related to the devil and that they should be killed. For this reason, millions of cats, especially black cats, were burned and punished by the church for 300 years. Black cats were packed in a bag and hung from a thick tree branch, while huge fires were lit under the bag. The more the cats in the bag burned and screamed, the more people believed that the devil would get scared and walk away. But none of them could have predicted the astonishing reversal of this unbelievable massacre that they carried out for 300 years. I will tell you shortly what kind of apocalyptic scenario this execution of black cats started. Europeans, who believed that black cats were relatives of witches, began to believe that these cats helped witches cast spells and do malicious deeds. They also thought that witches could transform themselves into black cats to travel and act unnoticed. That's why black cats came to symbolize witchcraft. Since the layer called tapetum nuceum, which reflects light and is found in the eyes of cats, is effective, thanks to this layer, cats' eyes start to look brighter. Because of the colors of black cats, their bodies were invisible, while only their eyes were visible, which also frightened people. It was time for the devastating consequences of the persecution of black cats during this period. Countless black cats were hunted and killed, along with people accused of witchcraft, and an unaccountable problem erupted. Cats were animals that hunted mice and played an important role in stabilizing the mouse population. They were the best rat hunters, especially since black cats are almost invisible at night. But when there was no black cat in the middle, a great mouse explosion started to take place across Europe. This increase in the mouse population contributed to the rapid spread of bubonic plague in the 14th century, eventually resulting in the deadliest epidemic in history, also known as the Black Death. After the extermination of cats, this Great Plague epidemic killed an estimated 1/3 of Europe's population, making it the deadliest epidemic in history. This disease, which spread in Europe, Asia, and Africa, caused a great death in the European population and left deep effects on the social, economic, and cultural structure of the period. Despite all these incredible events in the past, black cats are still innocently referred to as sinister creatures in many societies today, and black cats are exposed to various cruelties, especially on Halloween. Black cats continue to be used in costume decorations and popular culture during today's Halloween celebrations due to their dark history. Unfortunately, many animal shelters have policies that restrict and prohibit the ownership of black cats to protect them from potential harm during the Halloween season, as some people take advantage of the relationship to harm black cats during the Halloween season, use them as props for rituals, or abuse them for entertainment purposes. These policies aim to prevent black cats from being owned by malicious people and ensure the safety and welfare of animals. In Turkey, on the other hand, we can see that cats live in safety almost everywhere, as Islam gives great value to cats, and even the water in the cup that the cat drinks is considered clean. It is known how much the last Prophet Muhammad alayhis salam loved the muezzah. But somehow, the superstition about black cats in Turkey will have somehow managed to enter this society, as most of the people here pull their hair 3 times when they encounter a black cat on the street. In fact, when your relationship with a relative deteriorates, there are also statements such as "a black cat came between us." Fortunately, there is a special day for these wonderful creatures. World Black Cat Day is celebrated by the whole world on October 27th. This important day is intended to address the ongoing prejudices and misunderstandings against black cats, and to highlight the uniqueness and value of these beautiful animals. Be sure to remember them on October 27th. By the way, despite this image formed on black cats around the world, in Japan, on the contrary, black cats have very positive connotations. For example, in Japanese culture, black cats are believed to bring wealth as well as increase the likelihood of single women's potential fortunes. Black cats feature prominently in various aspects of Japanese pop culture, such as anime, manga, and video games. In Japanese culture, black cats are often portrayed as mysterious and supernatural creatures with unique abilities, reflecting the positive view of them. So what do you think about black cats? If I decide to adopt a cat in the future, I think that I will choose black cats, although they are all beautiful. So let's close our video with a thought-provoking quote from the Chinese philosopher Confucius. "The hardest thing is to look for a black cat in a dark room, especially if there is no black cat in the room."